Students, today's lecture is a continuation of the lecture on the essay India's Women, the Mixed Truth. In India too, expansion of women's schooling has contributed to its significant reduction in fertility rates. According to Amartya Sen, in India too, expansion of women's schooling, that is giving education or educating women, has led to reduction in fertility rates. While the average of 2.4 children per family for the entire country is still above the replacement level of 2.1, this reflects a big fall from earlier rates, and 9 of the 20 largest states of India have fertility rates now that are below the replacement level, which seems to reflect mainly the impact of the increased power of women to influence decisions about bearing children. So the average of 2.4 children per family for the entire country is above the replacement level of 2.1, and this indicates a big fall from earlier rates. 9 of the 20 largest states of India have fertility rates and is below the replacement level, and this indicates the increased power in the power of women to influence decisions about bearing children. So now the women have the power to decide whether to bear children or not, that is the educated women. Women's education does not seem to be adequately effective in reducing discrimination against giving birth to girls. But it would be a mistake not to appreciate what female education clearly does achieve. It is said that women's education is not effective in reducing the discrimination against giving birth to girls. Sen says that, but it would be a mistake what female education clearly does achieve. It is important to ask why women's education and the corresponding enhancement of women's voice and influence in family decisions have not done much to eliminate selective abortion of female fetuses. Amartya Sen says that it is important to ask why women's education and the voice of women and their influence in family decisions has not yet helped in eliminating the selective abortion of female fetuses. Educated mothers seem clearly less inclined to neglect girls compared with boys once they have been born, but they seem almost as keen on having boys rather than girls as uneducated mothers are. So Sen says that the educated mothers do not neglect the girls compared with boys once they have been born. If a girl child is born, the educated women never neglect these girls, but they also prefer having boys than girls. Here larger questions of enlightened understanding and scrutiny of traditional values become central and go beyond women's role and influence in family decisions. So what matters is questions of enlightened understanding and also an inquiry of traditional values. It is significant and it is above women's education. There seems to be a lack of adequate awareness of the oddity of seeing girls as inferior to boys and a lack of knowledge about what happens in other places where such discrimination against girls is not present. So there is a lack of awareness, and that is why girls are seen as inferior to boys. So it is the lack of awareness which makes the girls seen as inferior to boys, and also lack of knowledge about what happens in other places. So the lack of knowledge about what happens in other places where there is no such discriminations present. So this is all for today. Thank you.